welcome to the very first episode of the Cheapskate Dad. My name is Mike Austin. I'm a dad, I'm a husband, and yeah, I'm cheap. I like to think of myself as frugal, maybe a little minimalist, right? I just don't like wasting stuff. I like saving money. I like reusing, recycling things just because I don't like to waste anything. One time we had our lawnmower, which was just done. It was like 25 years old. It just was not repairable anymore. I took the wheels off. I took all the cables, everything I could off of there. I took the handles off of it and reused just about the whole darn mess. The handles turned into a bicycle rack out in the garage, which will feature on another episode of the Cheapskate Dad. But yeah, our very first episode here today, we're going to talk about tea. Now, I'm a coffee guy, but I was drinking way too much coffee. And so I got into tea. And I learned to like it, but you gotta kind of do it the right way. This is very good, by the way. So tea, I got into both the bags of tea, and then there's this stuff, this loose leaf tea you can find. I'd like to grow my own, maybe. That'd be good and inexpensive. This is Harney and Sons. I don't know, I found this. This is basically just leaves. It's leaves. It's all organic, and it's good for you. You can find loose leaf or bagged tea specifically formulated for different things. You know, you cleanse out your liver. It's good for your circulation, digestion, whatever you're into, or just to have a good hot cup of tea. And so one thing I noticed was at the end of the tea, now I can either do the bag or the loose leaf. We had this thing here. My wife had purchased this at a discount store. It's a little thin mesh, and you put it in the drain of the sink to keep silverware from going down in the garbage disposal. Well, she found a new one and a better one. And so rather than throw this away, this is something good. I knew I could use it for something, so I set it aside. When I got into tea, I realized when you're not using the bag, the loose leaf tea, you got to put that in something. Aha! So this goes right on top of, look at that, the coffee mug, actually the tea mug, and then you put your tea leaves in there and you make your tea. So that's that. The problem is in the bottom of this, and indeed in the bottom of the tea bag, you get this sort of tea mud, for lack of a better term. It's just leaves and herbs and stuff that when they're wet, it's like your lawn in the fall. And it's just wet stuff. But the Cheapskate Dad to the rescue. I decided, since it's all organic and it's basically just leaves and things like that, it's like a salad, right? Can't we eat that? That's got to be good for me. Watch this. So basically what I do is I've got these tea bags, and it's used tea mud. I call it tea mud. Ooh. And so you can rip open the top and just dump this stuff in there. I guess I should put it maybe in my dad box or whatever you call this container. I'll dump it in there. So yeah, so you end up with all this stuff. And there's a lot of it. You can use it. And it was also suggested to me that maybe we could put it in the garden too. So how about that for being a cheapskate or frugal dad? You're either cooking with your mulch or you're gardening with your mulch. All right, so we got that stuff. Now, basically, I'm just going to cut up some of this. I promise I won't cut off a finger or anything. We're doing this very dadly, very frugally. Look at that. Look at this. This is green goodness right here, people. This is yummy, and I got some rice that was already done. This was leftovers. Always eat the leftovers if you're the Cheapskate Dad. So we're going to turn the heat on. Good avocado oil here. I don't know. We get that cheap too someplace. Put that in here. This I'm going to dump in there. Look at that. Oh, yeah. You want some now too, don't you? The Cheapskate Dad. Yeah, we're frugal. I just throw it in the sink. Then you're going to dump some of this in here. Basically, I go through the fridge and just find whatever is left over. Put it in a skillet, in a pan with some rice, and some of your good old, look at this, so good for you. That's got to go through you like crazy. That's going to make you so regular and healthy. Look at that. Now, when you tell people you're eating the leftover tea out of your organic tea bag. They're like, what are you eating? What? So that is a meal right there. You don't have to go to the grocery store. You got rice, you got celery, maybe you got some broccoli stems, which we're going to do a show on broccoli stems another day. It's not all about cooking. This just happens to be one of the many ways. And look at that. It's got to be full of flavor. And there you go. We're going to eat that up. So here's the finished product. Look at this. This is like a stir fry. Rice, old used up tea, and some celery. That just happens to be what we have here, like within 5 minutes. You can pull out all kinds of stuff. You can also throw an egg on this for breakfast. And if you're wondering how to pull it all together, always the Cheapskate Dad or Frugal Dad has on hand these for things in the kitchen. Cheese, shredded cheese, which you can shred yourself. Put that, sprinkle that over top of anything. Suddenly it becomes gourmet. Or always keep ranch dressing on hand, or this, it's called French dressing. We used to call it Western dressing. You put ranch dressing on a brick and you can eat it. But if it needs to be a little more palatable, you know, a little ranch dressing, or you can dump some of this. This is one of my favorites. This stuff here makes everything taste good. So mix that up. Yeah, nothing is wasted in the Frugal Dad's house. The Cheapskate Dad. I gotta come up with the definitive name that we're gonna stick with. Look at that. And so there you go. Enjoy. Use the tea out of your tea bags, bust them open, and save it in your own container. Oh man. That is really good. Cheapskate Dad. We'll talk to you next time.